Discussion, possible action in reference to fiscal year 25 Annual Financial Report. Christine, you want to do that?
So this is this is actually our final yearly report that I had left to do. This is just an overall view of what we actually spent in the last year. Numbers came out just as we expected. You'll see that the expenditures were over the revenues, and that was because we finally had some of those capital projects going. We would have gotten the revenues the years before, and now we're finally spending those monies and getting those projects done. So if anybody has any, I've reviewed it, I've had Brandon review it, and I've had the auditor review it. So we have 3 set of eyes that are calling it good and ready to send it in to the state. So if anybody has questions, I'm happy to answer them.
Any questions for Christina? Motion.
Move to approve.
A motion to approve. Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Discussion and possible action in reference to job posting for soon to be vacated utility billing clerk position.
So unfortunately, Marcia has decided she's going to retire on June 30th, or January 30th. And so I have a posting that is up in front of you, and I'm looking to take a look at that, and I'd like to get that posted. Tentative plan would be to interview in December, and then hopefully have this person start sometime in January prior to Marcia leaving, just so we could have a little bit of a overlap period. Just for training purposes.
So you're sending this to Sun?
Yes.
Is that?
Yep. I was doing the Sun, the Gazette, and then you can put it on Indeed, and then just Facebook and on the website.
Everybody okay with that? That posting?
Yep.
Yep.
The motion to post it?
Make a motion that we post it. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 31, 2025, approving transfer of funds.
So these are transfer for all of our payments, for the bond payments. They'll be for the interest for 22,380.
Motion to approve.
So moved.
A motion to a second.
Second.
Nate?
Aye.
Crowley?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
For certain things, they gotta do a roll call.
Got it. Roger that.
I'm gonna start calling you first. Resolution 36, 2025, approving closure of library CDs.
So these CDs have matured, and library board is requesting them to be pulled out of the CD. And I think they're going to figure out what they're going to do with those funds. Is that correct, Elizabeth?
Yeah, just put them into our savings.
Yep.
Okay.
Any motion?
So moved. Second.
A motion and a second. Kevin?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Crowley?
Aye.
Nate?
Aye.
Public hearing for budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year 26. Need a motion to go into public. Need a motion to go in public hearing.
Motion to go into public hearing.
A second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing.
All right. So you should have this notice of public hearing is what we're on. If you go down to the bottom of that, you can get the explanation of changes. $12,000 was added out of the CHIA money that the library has for the shelving project and wall repairs behind the shelves. That money is in our account, but it was a donation that was given to the library from the CHIA family. So they plan to use some more of that money towards that, but since it's in our account, we have to show it coming in and going out, so it does reflect in our budget. $4,500 legal fees for the human resource investigation. The $80,000 for the internal loan. This is for the urban renewal project. This would be the road extension on Cryberg for Lead Stone. And then coming up in the next few meetings, you're going to see some transfers because we have to do an internal loan. It's going to be through Lost and then back to TIF, which is ultimately what is paying this project. And then $22,000 is for the water main project and on to include the blower motor for the wastewater plant, but that is for water main on West Main Street. That went over 2 budget years, so we didn't use some of the funds we had allocated for before June 30th because that project was after, so we just saved the money earlier in the year and now we're spending the remaining. It did not go over budget, it's just into a new year, so we have to account for it in this budget year. And then we did have the blower motor that was a part of that $22,000 that went out at the wastewater treatment plant that we had to repair.
Any questions?
Motion to go out of public hearing.
Motion to go to public hearing, do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Resolution 37, 2025, approving budget amendment number 1 for fiscal year 26. Have a motion?
So moved.
Have a motion, do I have a second?
Second.
Nate?
Aye.
Riley?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Resolution 38, 2025, authorizing internal advance for funding of urban renewal project, Trevor Boulevard Extension Project.
All right, so this is per our city finance and from Dorsey Whitney, who's the bond counsel. This is the paper trail for this project. We're going to transfer the funds from Lost over to TIF. Once all the bills and everything is paid, we will transfer that money back from TIF back into Lost because that was the plan, how we were going to get it paid for. This is required per code and also per those I mentioned before.
Any questions? Any motion?
Motion to approve resolution 38-2025.
A motion to a second?
Second.
Nate?
Aye.
Riley?
Aye.
John?
Aye.
Kevin?
Aye.
Correspondence?
I do not have one. Sorry.
City engineer report?
I do not have anything for him tonight. The well 5 is continuing on and they're going to be doing the bids probably at the next council meeting.
Public work?
Just an update. I know I told you guys last time we were gonna try to get Grant and Commercial, those patches done. Both of them are gonna entail some storm sewer work when we do it. So we are gonna do a temporary patch on Grant to take that lip out so cars don't get damaged or we don't. But that'll have to get ripped back out. It's just gonna be a small Band-Aid for the winter. We got the building formed up for the floor out of the sports complex for the sprinkler system. We're gonna hope in the next 2 weeks with the weather we can get that done and possibly those 2 dugouts, or 4 dugouts bored out there. We did start on the leaves. We're gonna continue having you guys go around until weather stops us from picking leaves up. But that's, we should have a truck out every day from starting Wednesday because tomorrow's the holiday.
Anything? Travis? Parks and Rec?
We had our first girls' basketball games this past weekend on Saturday in Monticello. That all went well, so we got about 4 weeks left of that. And then I worked with Marcia today to put out registrations for boys' basketball. So that will start after the first of the year. The only other thing I have is we'll do our Christmas event on December 19th. We're going to do a parade at 6 o'clock. And then we'll have Santa and Mrs. Claus in the fire station with a bake sale. Southeast Lynn will be down here again this year. So, other than that, the guys helped me get my tractor ready for the winter. And, yeah, that's about it.
Anything for Drayden? Very good job on Halloween Town.
Thank you.
Library?
We we plan to do a ribbon cutting. That should take place for our new shelves. I'm thinking next Monday at 4 p.m. We're still finalizing the date. So anybody who wants to is welcome to come for that. I know John thanked Public Works last week for all the work they did in the library, but I just want to reiterate that we really appreciate you guys coming and demoing the old shelves and helping with the trim work, or actually doing the trim work after everything else. And we had an incident at the library. I got to meet with the police chief, and that was a good experience to sit down and chat with him. And I mean, everybody's fine and everything, but the police were called on last Saturday for an incident outside of the library. So it was good to be able to talk with our police chief. That's it.
Anybody got anything for Elizabeth?
Thursday night, you've got something in Heritage Hall.
Yes, we have our last illuminated concert this Thursday night at 6 p.m. We'll have probably some pumpkin pie to go with it over the intermission. It's a string quartet, so everybody is welcome for that. And then we have one more cooking class, so if you have grandkids or kids that might be interested in coming to bake cookies, that's coming up December 13th. Registration is open right now.
Thank you. Police department.
We've got Officer Mole still working with K9 ground. He's not fully trained, the dog's not fully trained up. That won't be done until spring to go through the second half of his training. But right now he's still going through narcotics training. We swore in Officer Mackey last month. He will be part-time through December, and then January he's going to go to the academy. So hopefully be a quick spin-off after that. The police department and the city of Mount Vernon all applied for a grant to be that goes towards mental health awareness for law enforcement and first responders. It's a $200,000 grant that we were awarded. This will be funneled through the police department to go towards the Resilience Institute. It's a mental health awareness first responder program started out of Mount Vernon, is now nationwide, and we're going to be looking to implement a lot more trainings throughout the state, but through our department. So yeah, that was a pretty neat deal there. So other than that,
We got anything for Jason? Ambulance.
I don't have anything for them.
When is that public hearing for that? Is that the next meeting for that?
I believe so, yes.
Fire chief.
Just want to thank Dale Happel for coordinating Fire Prevention Week that we had in October. Several classes came down here. There was a poster contest. We had several other members that came to assist with that. So I'd like to thank all involved that another successful year with that. I know the school really appreciates that, and he gives the kids a ride home on Friday who win the poster contest. This year there was 2 deliveries put in Cedar Rapids, so he had to go into Cedar Rapids with that. So thanks to Dale for that. And then starting the new year, Brad Dixon is retiring from being Secretary Treasurer. He's done this for as long as I can remember. And he's still going to stay on the department, but he's retiring from the Secretary Treasurer position, and Matt Knuckles will be taking over. So I just want to welcome Matt and thank Brad for all of his time and for what he's done for that.
Anything for fire chief? City administrator.
As Travis talked about the sports complex, they're going to try to get the dugouts poured yet this year. They're still working out there. The contractor, they do have most of the irrigation lines in. Like I said, I don't know if you've been out there, but the poles for the backstop are in, and now the irrigation lines, and they're going to keep working with that. Along those lines, I did meet with CDG last week, our community development group. executive board, and they're willing to assist with any type of fundraising for the sports complex. So they have a lot of different avenues of people that they can reach, so I will be getting great in discussions with them for that. As I said, next meeting we'll discuss more on well 5. The bids are out. I know Travis has had a couple meetings with some of the companies with that. I attended a EMC workshop with Scott Morningstar, our insurance rep, out in Ankeny last week. Our city insurance will go up between 4 and 6%. That's on property and vehicles and what have you. So it was a really good workshop. They had some HR things in there too, which was good to hear. Christina and I attended the budget workshop in Cedar Falls last week as well. There's no major changes for this year, but it sounds like there's going to be a major tax reform moving forward that they're going to be doing in legislation this year, so it'll be interesting to see what happens going forward. Mark Parmenter is retiring at the end of this year, so he's going to help transition everything over to Jim Craig, who some of you probably remember. He used to be the city attorney prior to Mark. So anyway, that'll be a transition period, and then if we decide to go elsewhere or do whatever, that would be up to you guys, but just wanted to fill you in there that he is done at the end of the year. Yard waste last pickup was today, and they had an emergency down at their facility, so they're going to finish tomorrow. So for those of you that have yard waste out, hopefully by the time you watch this, if you're not here live or watching now, it'll be picked up, but I'll be sure that that gets done. And I'll echo what Doug says about Halloween Town. Thanks to Drayton and all the committee that put that on. I think it's a really great event. Brings people to town. We at the fire department give out pixie sticks, so each kid gets one, and there was 680, and I think we had 32 left. So over 600 kids. So a very good showing. Weather was decent, which always helps. But thanks to everybody involved with that. Lisbon grant, we approved that for $5,000 during budget time. I got the paperwork and CDG is ready to put that out, so that'll be posted officially hopefully this week, and they'll start the process of that, and then it'll come back to you guys for approval. It's $5,000, and they got to have a 25% cash match for that. So it's for all businesses inside the city limits of Lisbon. So we'll be sure to get this posted on our website, Facebook. I'll put it on the sign outside for people who want that. We have our audit report back. That'll be on for the next meeting. And just a reminder, tomorrow offices are closed for Veterans Day, and just happy Veterans Day to all the veterans. That's all I have.
Anything for Brandon? Kevin? Or Christine, you got anything?
I attended an Iowa League of Cities board meeting on Friday, and I attended an IMFOA board meeting on Saturday, and I will be in Salt Lake City, Utah next week at the National League of Cities Convention. So, looking forward to that. And then just a reminder that if you guys want any of the trainings, let me know. I can get you signed up. And Raleigh, you are required to do one of those trainings by new state law. So you have 90 days to take the open meetings training.
Those guys have to take them too?
So if you've been in your seat since July 1st, 2025, you do not have to unless you leave for a certain period of time. So, but yes, newly appointed have to, and this counts for council and boards. So anytime there's a new library or a new parks board member or any of that, we have to have them trained within 90 days.
And I can come down here for that.
Yeah, and you can sit at home and do it too. Just let me know and we can get you hooked up to, yeah, it's virtual. So it's really easy to do it.
I saw
What
that
if
in
he
one
fails?
of Cedar Rapids on the 20th.
Yeah, there is an in-person one too.
On the 20th.
It's to watch some of them though, because there's a lot of free trainings out there, and then there is some companies that are charging. So, but there's a lot that can offer it for free, and like I said, you can sit at home and watch it. It's hour and a half, that's it. So,
You gave us a flyer for each of
I did, yes.
Yep.
So, get that to him? Or
Yeah, he's got it.
Already got it?
Yep, and then you guys got a pretty looking one from the league this week, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Do we do anything for Christina? Kevin?
Just welcome to Raleigh, welcome to the city council.
Thanks,
That's all I
Kevin.
got.
John?
Just like to thank everybody that worked on the Halloween town. It doesn't just happen by itself. And thanks to the outgoing fire department treasurer, and welcome to Matt, the incoming treasurer, and welcome to Raleigh. And happy Valentine, or Veterans Day tomorrow.
Yes.
Rob?
Well, I just want to thank you guys for appointing me to hopefully do my Williams all right by representing him, and that way when I take over my seat permanently, then I'll have a little bit of feel.
Look, we're stuck there now.
Well, I'm right behind, right by my tech and mayor. What could go wrong?
Nate?
I want to also call out Drayton and the people who worked on Halloween Town. I heard it was a great event this year. So good that I only got 6 people to my house for Halloween. So I got a lot of candy left over, so thank you for that. I'm 2 weeks late, but Public Works, thanks for the work on the library. That was nice to have that done in-house so we can save a little bit of cash. Congratulations to Rick and for getting reelected, and to you for running a successful writing campaign. Pretty amazing. And that's it.
First of all, I wanted to congratulate Rick, Nate, and Raleigh, and council. I want to thank Marcia for all the time she put in here. Gonna miss you. Thank you very much. And that's, all right, we do got a new business in town out there at Bill's Pat's DX, CB Water, Casey Box of Waters, moved into that, the whole Canonsville place, telephone place. I want to welcome them. That's all I got. Possible closed session pursuant to Code of Iowa, Section 21.5 LI, to evaluate the professional competency of an individual whose employment, hiring, performance, or discharge is being considered when necessarily to prevent needless and irreparable injury to that individual's reputation and that individual's request a closed session. Marcia, would you like to go to closed session?
Yes, please.
There's a motion to go into closed session.
Motion.
Got a motion or a second? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We'll go into closed session at 7:25.